The matrix is the womb. The matrix is the womb. You know, they got a lot of different catchphrases out here. You know, you reap what you sow. For example, we're a seed planted inside of a seed. We're an egg inside of an egg, right? Energy ain't lost, it's transferred from one object to the next. When you start thinking about reincarnation, it actually makes sense that life itself is a seed within a seed. It makes sense that God is living itself out through all of us, picking up individual perspective on itself and life itself, trying to understand itself from a different perspective. All of that makes sense. When you start thinking about the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom. So etymology gets you into the origin of words, right? It helps you break down words. Now, when you start thinking about kingdom, are you kingdom or are you kingdom? When you think about the firmament, commandments, commandment. When you think about testaments, testament. When you start thinking about all of this stuff, it starts to make more sense, right? When you can actually explain it in this context. When you start to think about looking at the sun over the horizon, this is metaphor for being able to transcend yourself, bro. Like you have to be able to climb the ladder, which is in you. So when you think about the horizon, this is the highest point of the mind. This is the all-seeing eye. The horizon has origin in Horus, right? Which symbolically is the third eye. This is the mind. So it's all symbolic for the mind. This is the kingdom. Now, when you start thinking about a lot of this pagan worship, the Romans, all of that, right? We know that they added months. We know that they added days. So when they ask you what day it is, it really is what deities, what D it is, what deities, what day it is. Because a lot of this comes from astrology. Saturday, Saturn, Satan. All of these things can be broken down. There's a lot of research that you will have to do to really understand it. And it will give you a migraine. I'm going to tell y'all now. Because you got to look at Egypt. You got to look at pagan worship. You got to look at the Christians. You got to look at where all of this shit came from. And it's honestly, you'll be able to put it together. But I'm telling y'all right now, life itself is a mind game, bro. And what's crazy is it actually gives, for me, new context to our people perish from a lack of knowledge. It's not so simple as going to church, getting scripture and thinking you understand God. You might understand what he's saying because you were educated to understand words. That don't mean you understand what he's actually telling you, bro. That don't mean you understand the actual symbolism behind those words, bro. So it's a little difficult to actually rationalize scripture and make it applicable to life. The reason it's not applicable and the reason we have no power is because we've been confused. We've been falsely educated on what these words mean, the origin, and we've never really been taught on how to connect them. You got to start waking up. Like, this is how you reach the top of the pyramid, bro. It's actually doing your real life research. I don't want to make this a lecture. I just want y'all to understand all of this is symbolism, but all of this comes from somewhere. It has a very important play in our lives. See, the real thing is this. Even if it is conceptual, even if it is just symbols, why would somebody go to this extent to confuse people? That alone lets you know that there's a deeper agenda at play here. But y'all need to wake up to that. If you don't see that there's a deeper agenda, bro, you have to be asleep. And I hate to just be throwing that term around because everybody using it, but you have to actually be asleep if you don't recognize that there's a deeper agenda. To confuse the masses and distract the masses at this type of scale, you must know that there is good and evil in the world. You have to. Off of that alone, you should know something's up. No one goes to these extents to confuse word, religion, create all these different paths, create all these different distractions. Are you kidding me? The only reason that could happen is for the destruction of humanity. You got to start questioning good and evil on a deeper level for real. I mean, I'm trying to help people see to the best of my ability. I'm doing my job. Who am I to do that, right? I love content creation. But the more I learn, the more I research, the more I actually see, bro. And I don't see with these eyes. I see with spiritual eyes, bro. I see with a spiritual mind, bro. This is why I'm able to look at things and see the message. It's because I actually am woke. And it's hard to deal with. To the conscious community, To anybody out there that really sees what's going on, I know how hard this can be. Y'all got to keep going, bro. We all got to play our part, no matter how big, no matter how small. It's all important, dog. We got to wake the people up from these distractions, and we got to keep going. Keep fighting. I'm out.